Welcome to Agenda Edina, a program summarizing the actions taken at City Hall that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. City Manager Scott Neal is sharpening his pencil as he works with his team on the city's 2025 budget. Neal has proposed a $206 million budget for 2025. It includes a proposed tax levy of $61.5 million, which is up 13.14%. The increase is largely driven by increased operating costs and an investment in public safety. Rising costs in areas such as employee pay and benefits, energy, risk management, technology, equipment, and vehicle costs are impacting all service areas. The city's base budget is up 5.9%. The City Council made a commitment to invest in public safety by building a new Fire Station 2, scheduled to open in 2025. At that time, 6 additional paramedic firefighters will be hired for the facility. The city also anticipates hiring 3 additional police officers. Nearly 5.5% of the 13.14% levy increase is for this expansion of public safety services. Another 0.5% of the increase is due to a change in the city's special assessment policy for local street reconstruction. The budget also honors the city's commitment to maintain a high level of service in park maintenance, street repair, snow plowing, environmental protection, community engagement, fleet maintenance, assessing, communications, street sweeping, and more. Items in the budget and capital improvement plan were also included to make the city more inclusive and accessible, with things like automatic doors, EV charging stations for handicap parking spots, gender-neutral bathrooms, and ADA improvements.
It is going to be a very expensive year in 2025. However, I think the trade-off in terms of the investment back into the city, the residents are very supportive in that, knowing the fact that we're adding on additional staff to public safety efforts, as well as getting a new fire station too. And that was the direction that council received, and therefore council provided that to staff.
The City Council approved a maximum tax levy at a meeting in September, but members were not comfortable with the large increase and asked staff to find some ways to trim the budget without impacting service levels. City Manager Neal will continue to refine the budget. A public hearing on it will be held 7 p.m. December 3rd. The city has hired an architect for the expansion of Braemar Arena. Last fall, voters approved a local sales and use tax to fund the $45.2 million rehabilitation and expansion of the facility. The project has 2 primary components. The first is to repair, replace, and update certain parts of the aging complex. The second is to add a 4th sheet of indoor ice, optimize existing and new ice systems, and add parking, a new lobby, and related infrastructure to improve the safety and circulation of patrons, and upgrade ADA components.
We're excited to make some improvements to the rink floors, make them more even. There's currently some heaving underneath the rink floors. We're looking at making some improvements to the HVAC systems, which will substantially help with building cleanliness and prevent dust, better ventilation.
Last month, the City Council approved a $2.62 million contract with JLG Architects for architectural and engineering services for the project. JLG will work with city staff and stakeholders, the city's owner's representative, Tegra, and eventual construction management firm. They will work together to provide programming and preliminary design, concept and schematic design, design development, and construction documents and administration services.
During our proposal request process, we identified a number of great firms that we interviewed, and JLG did stand out. They're a leader in the state and the nation. They have a dedicated sports studio group that specializes in ice arenas, and they recognize that this project will require the excellence and great pride and tradition to improve Braemar Arena, both the renovation and the expansion.
JLG is expected to begin work this fall. The city has exceeded a goal set 2 years ago to plant 1,000 trees as a way of improving climate, health, and tree equity. This Next Gen Trees initiative received national recognition in June by the U.S. Conference of Mayors. As this future tree canopy takes root, the city has made it easier to find these trees and learn more about them with an online tool. Edina TV shows us how.
It was kind of easy to tell on the map where we needed trees.
Not long ago, Roslyn Park was one of those places.
We were trying to do something that was going to make an impact, and so we came up with 1,000 trees. I've never done that.
Good morning! All right!
On Arbor Day in 2022, more than 100 volunteers signed up to establish new life and improve their community. 250 trees were planted in a single day. It was part of the Next Gen Trees initiative, an ambitious effort to plant 1,000 trees in Edina, paid for with American Rescue Plan Act funds.
Kind of cool to come back here now and see how much they've all grown from just, the little kind of 6-foot tall, 10-gallon potted tree to, what we have here. This is a northern catalpa we planted 3 years ago. And back then it was about 6 feet tall, just as tall as I am, and now you can see it's doubled, almost tripled in size, and so it's really loving its new home and is flourishing here in its new location.
Now there's a way to find every Next Gen tree planted with an online interactive map.
It's one thing to say you've planted 1,000 trees, but it's really cool for residents to be able to actually drill down and see where those trees physically went.
GIS coordinator Anna Denon helped the city's forester determine where those trees were needed most.
We looked at some sustainability layers to look at our existing tree canopy, where there were maybe some deficiencies. We got some information from Hennepin County about where our heat islands are in Edina. So if we plant trees in those heat islands, it'll help combat that.
Areas like the southeast quadrant of the city, where most of the 250 trees planted on private property were located. This map shows their proximity to multifamily and affordable housing.
Ultimately, you do have this final map product that makes that data easy to understand for residents or whoever is interested.
This dashboard includes the date each tree was planted and its species. There are over 100.
Just with climate change, I've been switching and planting a lot of climate adaptable species.
Minnesota's winters have warmed so much that trees that couldn't survive in the past are now thriving.
Great shade with these large leaves, and then they kind of have this really fun bark down here that kind of starts to peel away as it gets older.
Just one of over 1,000 new trees, offering shade for the next century. I'm Dan Carpenter for Edina TV.
To explore the new interactive dashboard, visit edinamn.gov and search Next Gen Trees. Ever think about buying an electric vehicle? The City of Edina's Energy and Environment Commission will host its first electric vehicle showcase 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, October 5th in the Edina City Hall parking lot. In addition to having a variety of electric vehicles on display, the free event will include live music, a food truck, and participation from local dealerships and energy experts. Edina residents and the community are invited to learn more about electric vehicle ownership from other Edina residents who own one. The showcase will exclusively feature BEVs, or battery electric vehicles, that are fully electric and have no gasoline engine. Featured vehicles include Audi, BMW, Cadillac, Chevy, Ford, Kia, and Rivian models, plus a Tesla Cybertruck. I hope to see you there. Thank you for watching this episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.